filled a basket with all the books for my TBR this month, and it looks really pretty. Hi guys, it's Kavya from Kavya the Bibliophile, and we are a bit of a ways into September, but I still thought that this week I might as well show you my September TBR because I like filming TBRs. And I thought it might be a good chance to show you all what I'm going to read this month and tell you guys a little bit about the books if any of you all want to check them out with me so that you can join me when I review them. I'm just gonna get right into it with the books I'm planning to read this month or have already started for this month. And the same way as usual, I'll tell you guys a little bit about them, and I'll leave the list of books in the description below if any of you guys want to check them out. The first book I have for this month is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. This is the book I'm currently reading in my English class this month, so this one's not really a choice, but as you all know, it's a classic. It's about an orphan boy named Pip, and it's written in, kind of the more difficult English, Old English. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's how it's written. I have to read it for English. We just started it, so I don't have a lot of opinions so far on it, but might let you know in my wrap-up this month if I have one. Not totally sure. I don't think I'll really be reviewing this one. The second book I have for this month, which is the first one that I've started reading this month and have not finished yet, is I Was Here by Gayle Forman. So many of you may know that I am a huge Gayle Forman fan. I love If I Stay and Where She Went and the Just One Day and Just One Night series as well. So I love her books, and this one's a contemporary novel following the story of a girl named Cody whose best friend Meg committed suicide, and Cody didn't even know that Meg was ever even having thoughts of suicide, so she's kind of trying to discover the mystery around it, I guess, or really why Meg wanted to do this, because she didn't know that this was even in Meg's mind, and she thought that as her best friend, Meg may have come to her for advice. So that's pretty much the plot line for this novel, and so far I'm really enjoying it. The main reason I haven't finished it yet is really time, but I do really love it, and every night before I go to bed I try to at least get like a chapter or so in. If possible I'd get more in, but I also have to sleep. But I love this book so far, and I love Gayle Forman. I love her style of writing, and it's a contemporary novel, so it's a little bit easier to read than, discovering an entire fantasy novel, which I think is fitting since I'm reading it as my school's starting, so it's helping me, find a balance between reading and schoolwork again. The next book I'm hoping to read this month is An Ember and the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I don't know a lot about this one, but I have heard good things about it, and I got it in the airport on the way back from India this summer, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, so I'm hoping that I can read it this month because I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm kind of glad that I don't know anything about it, because then I can just dive right in and see where the story takes me and maybe let you guys know some of my thoughts on it after. But it seems interesting. The cover is pretty. I've heard good things about the author as well, so we'll see where it goes. The next book I have on my list is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. I know this was a very popular film, but I did not see it. But since it's a novel, I thought I'd go ahead and read that. And this one is also a contemporary novel about a guy named Greg who doesn't like high school, so he just wants to stay in the periphery the entire time, and he's just making films with his friend Earl, but then his mom makes him be friends with a girl who has cancer, and that kind of ends his plan, and it changes, his life or his plan or whatever. So that's kind of what this one is about. I've heard good things about this one as well. I didn't know too much about it before I got it, but I heard some really good things about it, and about the film as well, so I thought I might as well check it out, see how I feel about it myself, and it sounds interesting, so I guess again I'll read it, see how I feel about it, and let you guys know about my thoughts on it. The last book I'm hoping to read this month is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes, and this one was recently a film. This is the film cover of the book. I think the film has Sam Claflin, and I'm not sure who plays the girl actually, but it's kind of a romance story. It's about a girl named Louisa Clark who goes to work for Will Traynor, who was in an accident and is now in a wheelchair, and he seems to be very moody and bossy, but Louisa doesn't treat him as though he's broken glass, and they soon, I guess, fall in love, because it says that, you know, his happiness soon means more to her than her own does, so I'm guessing that it is a romance story. I've heard both good and bad things about this novel. One thing I have heard about it is that it doesn't portray the disability aspect very well, but since I haven't read it yet, I'm not making any judgments, and I'll read it for myself, see how I feel about it, and then let you guys know after I finish reading it. So I have somewhat of an ambitious TBR this month. I'm not really certain that I'm going to be able to get to all the books since I'm still on my first book of the month, but one can try, and I'm hoping to at least get to maybe 2 or 3 of these novels, which I'm sure you guys will find out if I do, and I'll be sure to let you guys know, and you guys can tell me if you've read any of these novels or if you plan to in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on them if you have read them, or if you're planning to. It'll be nice to, you know, see some others who are reading similar things this month as well, or even if you're not planning on reading these, tell me what you are planning on reading this month in the comments below, and maybe I'll check out some of what you're planning to read and share my thoughts on those. As usual, the books will be listed in the description below, as well as my social media and my Goodreads if you want to follow me anywhere else and see my thoughts on books as I read them. I haven't updated my Goodreads recently, but I do hope to really soon, maybe even later this week. I'm hoping to update everything and be more on track. So you guys can definitely add me there. And I think that's about all for this video. I will see you next week with a brand new video, possibly a review of a book, because I feel like I haven't done one in a while, which probably isn't true, but I feel that way. So I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you all. Goodbye!